What's up, people? It's Alex ASC. I first must apologise. I've had a bit of a break, a little holiday, see some friends in France who have just had their first child, and the week after that I was supposed to do a video. We got the kind of Castle Combe thing in with the Lotus, which was all good, and then the Tuesday after that, which I said I'd do a video, Jody actually took the day off because it was his kid's birthday, so you can't really blame him for that. So I'm late, but officially we're a week out. I missed one last week, so you've got me now today. Snap on Tuesday, we're on time, and I've got some stuff to show you and talk about as well, which is kind of cool. First off, I noticed the comments with regards to ye old Lucifer. You never believe this. Anyway, that last video that I played to you, I was working on the Galaxy, and I was here basically till 7:15 the next morning. So I literally finished work, got the car done, went home, fed the kids, took them to school, had a shower, come back to work, and did another day. It ended up, I did 2.5 days without sleep, which I don't recommend it, because you make stupid mistakes, and not only that, you are dead tired and it kind of kills you. But it took me a while to recover from it, but I knew I was going to get a holiday, so I did it anyway, like an idiot. But anyway, Lotus stuff. Now, in the comments, somebody said to me, you know, please don't advertise to the world that the Lotus is going to be immobilizer free and somebody will nick it. No, I take that point. But it was actually a really easy fix. There was nothing wrong with the alarm or the immobilizer. It was Muggin's ear. Now, what I'd done is when I got out the post office, the car is really low, and I'm not exactly a small lad. I basically kicked the key ring, and I remember hearing the sound of the clunk with my foot as I got out the car. Didn't think anything of it. Obviously went in the post office, got the road tax, you know, all the bits and bobs, filled out the details, got back in the car, couldn't start the car. And like I said, the alarm was disconnecting or you know, well, the alarm was disarming, that's the proper word, but the immobilizer was still active. What basically transpired, I got the car recovered here on the back of a truck, then got balls deep in work and couldn't effectively look at it until I had time, because obviously, you know, you saw that video, it was crazy. I was here till, I say, 7 in the morning, still working. When I got finally time to look at the Lotus, I took the steering cowl off to see, you know, immobilizer wires and all that kind of stuff, see what was going on with it, try and figure it out. And I saw the receiver ring from the immobilizer. So I thought, oh, well, that's kind of odd, because, you know, we used to do these transponder rings and transponder immobilizers, like that little puppy, back in the day when security was a big thing on cars. Obviously, it's all coded now, so they're not really seen. But I had this receiver, but I had no immobilizer fob. Sure enough, looked under the driver's seat, what I'd actually done, just see there on the plastics, I snapped it. As I got out the car, I kicked the key off and it bounced under the seat. Rather embarrassing, very funny. I'm sure a lot of you are sat there going, what a idiot. But yes, the immobilizer key was sat underneath my seat, looking at me, laughing its little plastic face off, knowing full well that I've had to have the car recovered for absolutely no reason whatsoever, other than this was not near enough to the receiver ring to actually deimmobilize the car. So some plastic weld later, started the car fine. It's been perfect ever since. So there was nothing wrong with the car, it was me. We did the Lotus show, everything was perfect with it. It got a lot of attention all day. Everyone was saying, you know, A, congratulations on getting the car back. B, it looks absolutely stunning. C, can we buy it? You know, it got loads of attention. So I was really happy with it all day. It did exactly what I wanted to do. It put a smile on my face. Everyone was pleased to see it back out. The old kind of group, the old Lotus friends, they were, you know, over the moon that I had it ready again and it was all, you know, done and dusted. So now I am 150 miles deep, maybe a little bit more. I've got to do 1,000 miles to run it in. I need to do an oil change, but touch wood, everything is actually as it should be. It's driving not bad for a car that's been stood for 5 years. I'm going through all the little processes and niggles and odds and sods trying to get everything sorted, but we're going to get there. So you know, touch wood, everything is good. I have had my silicons arrived. So this is a box of every single silicon hose which is available for the Lotus Esprit V8. I bought them all just because I had a hose failure and the car is 20 years old. Things are going to start going wrong. So I'm going to go through it again, swap out all the hoses, do an oil change, you know, and get some use out of it and enjoy it. And then obviously me and the wife are going to use it. Summertime, hopefully we're going to do Le Mans Classic because it's something we really want to do. We're into car shows and things like that. So really want to get to Le Mans with it. But no panic. The car is fine. It was my fault. I snapped the immobilizer key off. It's now back on. The car is still protected and safe. No worries. Secondly, what else? The chaser, I've done nothing with it. I really have been up to my eyeballs in work and I've not had time to phone anyone, chase anyone. From the last time we spoke, when I sent the really shitty letter to Adrian Flux, I've had nothing, even though they promised me that Helen, whatever her face was, she was going to take on the case and keep me in touch. Nothing. So true to their word, shit as always. Next step is the Ombudsman. When I get 5 minutes, I am going to go and start a case with them because I'm sick of it and see where we get with that. Camaro wise, we are now pretty much 90% there. I don't know whether we discussed this last time. The idea of me having the car from Simon when he had the issue with the electrics, the car was kind of given to me and I take it in the aspiration that I could kind of take my time with it and keep the cost down and get it done as and when I had time. Basically, the customer come back to me and said, we need the car for a prom. I promised somebody we can take the car, can I have it back? I had 3 weeks worth of work booked solid, then went on holiday for a week, then come back in. I have 2 weeks left to finish the car. So it's kind of all guns blazing at the minute. We've got 90% of it done. You know, we're happy with the way it's going. We started it today for the first time. It's got front lights, rear lights, the marker lights are working, the flasher indicators. It's all been, you know, done right, and I'm getting really happy with it because it's soon going to be leaving. We've got a few little bits and bobs to tidy up, sort out this. The radiator wiring has got to be done. The windscreen wiper, that's got to be put in. Washer fluid, sender. But as of you know, pretty much the rest of the car, the interior is pretty much now together. Let me just give you some light so you can see what I'm talking about. Sorry if I'm trying not to move you too fast, so I know what it's like watching TV and you get all dizzy. So the interior is pretty much, you know, wiring wise, we've got to do a little bit on the gear stick, a little bit on the clocks, but the rest of it, the standard switches are now working. So the lighting, the indicators and all that, this stuff here, that's all good. So we're quite happy with that. As for the back, I've changed a bit of the lighting because obviously we have different rules in this country. So what was the reverse lights are now indicators because they're clear. So we've put orange bulbs in there. We've got the lights that are working at the sides and then obviously the number plate lights. So everything this end is pretty much good, as is the front, which we'll just go and take a little peek. Bum, 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 bum. So on the front of the car, marker light at the side there, obviously that's working. And what I did was quite clever. I've put, quite clever, listen to me, modest. Or should I say shy? No. Yeah. The side light is now inside the indicator lens. I don't know whether you can see that, try not to reflect it too much. The side light's just here. So we've got, you know, it will conform to UK standards. So it's got side lights, it's got marker lights, it's got main beam, it's got dipped. Everything is good. So it started today. We've redone some battery cables because this old junk was crap. So I put some new cable onto it, you know, finished off the ends properly. The battery is now bolted down. So we've made massive, you know, headway with the car, and it is going to be ready in about a week and a half, ready for the customer, which I'm pleased about. So that's that. Today we've had in this Mercedes SLK. It's got an aftermarket Kenwood sound system, but it had standard speakers. The customer was complaining that the sound that they were getting from the car wasn't very good, and when they turned it up, it kind of distorted. So we've put some Hertz components in the front. Just shine on the door there, you probably see. So there's a little component sub mid-range driver and tweeter in the door. And then in the back, I've actually put some more, it's not cut the bulkhead, there's actually a space for speakers if you get the premium audio. But I've made, on the router station, we'll talk about that in a minute, I've made some spacers, put the speakers in behind, there's one in each chair, so it's now got 4 speakers all the way around the car. And there's actually, you can just see it there, a little 400 watt Pioneer mini amp. That's up behind the dash, making the sound all good without the head unit struggling. I'm not going to go into the science, you probably know what you're on about. Router station wise, all going well. I've made this stuff out of the way. I've made a little dust extractor from watching a few videos on flow and things like that. I'm still working on, you know, kind of 100% of dust free. It's getting better into the old record power vac. It's figuring out, you know, the flow. That's what they basically talk about. But the router station is working a treat. We've been cutting out, this is what was basically in the back of the Mercedes, these little plastic kind of covers for a speaker hole. So I fashioned up a template, routed it out, you know, used the inner for the speaker and then the outer for the mounts. And then there's 2 of these in the car, 1 each side. So that's going well. So I'm enjoying my time with this. I'm just obviously still figuring out 100% dust collection. If we can kind of cut it down a bit more, I'd be happy. It is a bit of a tip in here. I have just cleaned up. But you know, busy workshop. Snap-on stuff. Just move the old product out of the way. I am blasting through stuff because it's getting on for 6:30, I think, and I need to get back. Watch the kids, put them to bed. So, snap-on stuff. Some really cool stuff. I've had a tape measure replaced because it failed again. So if you get one of these, just keep an eye on them because the retract on it keeps failing. It's the 3rd or 4th one I've had now. Some sockets. These are the quarter drive FDX sockets. So these are the ones specially made for the round offs. When you round a bolt, you know, or a nut and you can't get it out, they grip on there. So I've got the quarter drives for those. I did get a new ratchet with it as well. I got the quarter drive swivel ratchet. This is green. He only had green available. So he's ordered me a red handle because obviously I'm OCD as hell. So that's quite a nice bit of kit. Flexible head, obviously, you know, quarter drive, wobbly adjustment on it, so you can put the head kind of where you like. Obviously with these it's a good bit of kit. I've had some replacements. The tape measure was one of them. My 3rd set of tin snips, they keep failing. They keep pinching or grabbing up in the nose and separating, so you can't undo anything with them. They've been replaced. And something that's pretty cool, I wanted one of these for ages. We can have a big reveal on this. I'm going to get down on the floor because it is awesome. Is that going to be enough? Maybe. Let me just adjust you a little bit. Try not to wobble you. I've wanted one of these for a long time. You know I like my snap-on stuff. You ready? The snap-on truck creeper tool. This is the shit. Comes with a little drawer in the front, so you can put your stuff in there. Sandwiches. Big old seat for my fat ass. And it's got another drawer on the back. Now my intentions are, because I'm such a dickhead, I am going to get these indicators and reverse lights and stuff working on a battery pack. I am going to give it neons. I am going to get the headlights and indicators working. But how cool is that? Anyway, I think that's enough for today. What we on 14? Yeah, I'm tired. As you can see, I probably had too much sugar today and freaked out about the snap-on stuff. I need to go home, sort the kids out, put them to bed, have some dinner and get some sleep myself. So that's it, Snap-on Tuesday. Any questions, any queries, put them in the comments below and I'll try and answer what I can. I don't think I've missed anything. it'll probably pop into my head later on, but you know me, I'll bang a video up if I get something of any importance, or you know, that I kind of think you'll like. But yeah, Snap on Tuesday done. Any comments, any questions, put them in the comments below. I will try and do what I can to answer them. Any questions, queries, helps, tips, hints, tricks, give me a shout. I'm gonna go now. See you later, boys. Ta-da.